Yeah, this is Dr. Ramalan Acharyalu, uh, professor and professor in Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, St. Peter's Engineering College. Today we are going to talk about the uh, antenna arrays. So what we are going to discuss is what is an antenna, general definition of the antenna, and what is array antenna, what is an array, why we need to take array antenna, and array antenna types, and the discussion of the antenna array antenna parameters and the applications of the array antenna. This is the topics we are going to cover. So now here used to take, this is the antenna definition. What is an antenna? Generally antenna acts as a transducer. That means a one dimensional wave in the waveguide which will be transmitting towards to the space through antenna. That means antenna is in between the transmission line to the free space. So therefore the one dimensional structure, one dimensional wave is passing in the waveguide which is converted to the three spherical wave in electromagnetic wave in form of done by the antenna. That is the function of the antenna. That means antenna acts as a transducer. So an antenna is a passive structure that serves as a transducer between transmission line and the air in order to receive and transmit electromagnetic waves. So this is the definition of the antenna. Now we are going to talk about the what is an antenna array. An antenna array is a group of antennas connected or elements connected, whatever point sources or antenna element same, there is no difference between them. An antenna array is a group of antennas connected and arranged in a regular structure to form a single antenna that is able to produce the radiation patterns not produced by individual antennas. So generally used to take every antenna has their own radiation patterns, but here the n number of elements should be placed with some spacing and with equal amplitude and equal phase like that, and it produces it acts as a single antenna and it produces the radiation pattern in a particular direction with maximum directivity. An antenna arrays are a group of isotropic radiators of electromagnetic frequency and energy. You already know that. They provide a solution to the problems caused by a single antenna. So how is it happened actually? So here just will take for instance, this is the array antenna which is used for the VHF frequency. Just you will take the four elements is there. Four elements is there. So here just to understand, so the dipole antenna allows the better control of a direction than an isotropic antenna, but as length of the dipole increases, the control direction may decrease. So if you will take the length of the dipole increases, what happened? The control direction may be decreases automatically. So the more control and flexibility can be easily regained for some what we call the beam direction. So with a multiple radiator arrangement. So if you increase the dipole length, so what happened? It should not be controlled. Control maybe decreases, automatic control direction maybe. So it is not possible to get the maximum radiations in a single antenna generally. So that's why we used to take and the n number of elements or n number of antennas will be grouped at one what we call the one axis, and it seems as a looks like one antenna, and it gives the radiation pattern as a single radiation pattern will come. The maximum lobe will be radiated in a particular direction. That is the antenna. The more control and flexibility can be easily regained for the beam direction with the multiple radiator arrangement. So these all are the antennas. Just to take, this is the sector, E sectorial and H sectorial like that, the horn antennas like, and the reflective array, which is the reflector antennas, so say the parabolic corner reflector or flat sheet reflectors, all will come into the picture. So now why an array antenna? What is the requirement for this? Why we need to take? A single element is a relatively wide and a low gain directivity. To have a very high gain and the long distance antenna. This can be accomplished by increasing the electrical size of the antenna. So here the single element is relatively wide and low gain. So the directivity is very less if you will take a single antenna. To have to get a very high gain and the long distance antenna, this can be accomplished by increasing the electrical size of the antenna generally. So what are the electrical size of the antenna means? The length of the antenna should be increases. So what happened? Already I told, if the length of the antenna increases, then what happened? The control direction will be decreases actually. Direction controlling is very what we call, it cannot be set up to mark, which will be reduces. So therefore which is not possible. Then enlarge the dimensions of the antenna without increasing the size of an individual element is to form an assembly of a radiating elements in an electrical and the geometrical configurations. So we should not do a single element to get that much of the directivity, the maximum directivity. So therefore we used to arrange an alternating with maximum directivity without any losses or anything. So what is that what is the way? So they enlarge the dimension of the antenna without increasing the size of a individual elements. The antenna size should be increases by using of the n number of antennas or n number of elements to form one group or assemble of radiating elements in an electrical and geometrical configurations. What is the electrical and geometrical configurations? So you used to say generally the amplitude and phase, these two will come into the picture. So the length is a geometrical. So electrical and phase, these two are the electrically what we call the parameters, these two. So therefore this is a new antenna formed by multi elements, is referred to as an array. So why we need to take an array? The single antenna should not get a maximum more gain and it have the relatively wide and low gain. So therefore to have to get the maximum directivity, so the antenna length will be increases, then the direction of control will be reduced. So therefore which is not set for getting the maximum radiations with a good performance. So it should be done by using of the number of elements should be grouped at one place with the assembling of the radiating elements in a electrical and a geometrical configurations, right? So this form of the antenna is called an array. That means what actually it forms the multi elements. It is referred to as array. In most cases the elements of an array are identical. The total field is determined by the vector addition of the vector addition. If you will take a 2-point sources, so how we are going to take the vector addition? For example, the one antenna will be placed at the origin of the xy axis, that is a 0 point, and the another antenna will be placed with the distance d, which is the lambda by 2, the placing the apart from the first antenna advanced. So its distance is lambda by 4 and both are the same amplitude with the same phase angles, you say that. So here the E1, you say that the E1 is the field of the electric field of the first antenna, first element, and the E2 is the electric field of the second element. So in this, how we are going to take the total field of the array, the 2-point sources, E is equal to E1 plus E2, the summing of both. How we are getting here? Just you have to take a vector addition. So vector addition with respect to the angles also. So therefore the E0 is the magnitude, you say that. E0 E power. What is the angle here? It is placed at the exactly center point, then the angle is 0. So therefore E power J0. Then E1 equal to E0. And again E2 equal to E0 into E power. How much angle is there? E power J psi. E power J psi. Like that. Then you will take, that is called the E1. E2. So E1 is equal to E0 and E2 equal to E0 into E power J psi. Now you are going to take the vector addition. E is equal to E1 plus E2. Therefore E is equal to E0 plus E naught into e power j psi. Again you will take the E naught is what we call the common, and you will take 1 plus e power j psi. Again you used to take E naught into e power j psi by 2 is common. Therefore, what is happened there? E power minus j psi by 2 plus e power j psi by 2 is left. And what it shows actually, which shows that if you will take by 2 and into 2, then you will get some, the cosine function will come like that. That is the vector addition of the electric field of the total elements, whatever, how many elements you are used to take, that is the 2 or 3, whatever it may be, the field radiation by the individual elements. So this is about the array. So now, in general, the array can be used to increase the overall gain, already you know that. They provide the diversity reception. In what way you receive the signal in particular direction, which is the overall gain should be increases or increases only, not in the other way. And they cancel out the interference from a particular set of directions. So this is the cancellation out interference from a particular set of directions. This is also one of the application in general of the array, and steer the array so that is most sensitive in the particular direction. So generally used to take, this is the fixed arrays and the steerable arrays. What is a fixed array? If we will construct an antenna, array antenna or antenna array, which is placed at the fixed point, it will be operated at the fixed direction only. It should not be changed. If we will take another, the two types of steerable things is there, that is the mechanical steering and the electronic beam steering. These two, the steering, that means what actually? The directions will be changes. For example, you say that the direction will be changes, that is if you will connect with the what we call the one target is going on there. If the fixed array you are using, if the in radar we use that fixed signal, the particular point it should shoot that, but the object will be moving here and there, so therefore it is not applicable. Then you are coming to the phased array radars. In that phased array, you are going to take the steerable arrays. That is, the steerable arrays is the two types. One is the mechanical steering, and the other one is the electronic steering, electronic beam steering or mechanical beam steering. So this is the most sensitive in a particular direction. This should be oscillating also sometimes. Determine the direction of arrival of the incoming signal. It should also find it where it should be arrived. The signal, whatever the signal applied, that signal is where it should be arrived. That will also identify by this the array to maximize the signal to interference plus noise ratio. That means it should be signal to noise ratio, signal to noise ratio, signal to interference plus noise ratio, both will be maximized, so signal to noise ratio. So this is the applications of the array antennas. Now the array antenna types, they generally used to take that there are the two types of array antennas. One is the parasitic and driven array antenna. Now what is the parasitic antenna? Parasitic array antenna means used for controlling the radar and various other narrow beam such as the microwave communication systems. So this is the parasitic array antennas. What is the, actually it is used for controlling the radar. What is the radar? Radio detection and ranging. How the radar works generally? So radar, if you will take a radar set have the transmitter, receiver and antenna. In a transmitter, generally we used to take the microwave, what is the power source, that is called the magnetron, which produces the kilowatts or megawatts of power. That should be passing to the duplexer circuit, that is an antenna which is connected. So the duplexer consists of a TR and ATR switch is there. The power signal is passing towards the antenna through the duplexer, and that signal is passing from the antenna of the radar, which is releases and which is passing towards to the object in space, either in missile or aircraft, whatever it may be, and it hits that the object, and somewhat signal is reflected back. That much of the weak signal is come back. That is called the echo signal. That is the receiving signal of the radar, which is in microwatt or the picowatt of power, but the transmitting signal is megawatt or kilowatt of power. So the both signals will be operated at in one antenna system. That is the beauty of this the radar antenna. So here the radar duplexer circuit is there. That is during the transmitting time the TR switch is on. During the receiving time ATR switch is on. This is the radar operation. So the parasitic arrays is used for the controlling of the radar and the various other narrow beams such as the micro communication systems. And next, the driven array antenna. Radiating elements are connected to an energy source and have a less loss when compared to the parasitic arrays, but still they maintain the narrow beam characteristics. They are used as such radar antennas where the narrow beam are less critical when compared to low losses. So this is a driven array antenna. Driven, already know that the halfway dipole, for example Aggie-Wood antenna. You will take Aggie-Wood antenna, we have the two elements generally. One is the driven, other one is the parasitic elements. The parasitic elements are reflector and director, and the driven element are dipole. So here the dipole is inbuilt here. The array antenna characteristics, just we are coming to this, the array antenna characteristics, and it means a power gain of a transmitted signal that is achieved by using multiple antennas as a transmitter and receiver, and with respect to the single input and single output case. So it can be easily, it can be simply call it as a power gain, you say that. And in a broadside array, the array gain is almost exactly proportional to the length of the array. Generally used to take the different types of arrays, the broadside and end fire arrays. The broadside array means the radiation pattern will get perpendicular to the axis. That is called the broadside array. That is the normal to the axis. So if you are coming to the end fire array, the radiation pattern along the axis, this is called the end fire array. So the what we call the broadside array gives the perpendicular. That means the if you will take x-axis, the radiation pattern is completely perpendicular. That means the y and minus y side. So if you will take a end fire array, if you will take x-axis, this is axis, the radiation pattern along the axis. That is the difference between the end fire and broadside array. So here almost in a broadside array, the array gain is almost exactly proportional to the length of the array. Now the beam width. The beam width is the product of the individual antenna pattern and the array factor. So here, how we are going to find the beam width in the array? This you need to take the two product. You say that what is the individual antenna pattern? First you have to find it, and what is the array factor? These two will consider. Then you will get the beam width. So this is the characteristic, and the bandwidth of an array is affected by many factors, including the impedances with the frequency, change of array spacing and a wavelength that may allow grating lobes, and the change in element beam width, and so on. If we will take a bandwidth variations, we require the effect of many factors. The bandwidth, that is the majorly depends on impedance and the frequency. So therefore change of array spacing and wavelengths also. So for this cause we used to go for the extension of this different types of broadside end fire. Already know that increasing end fire array, increasing directivity in end fire array, that is also the extension step. And moreover, in sense of the bandwidth and all, we used to go for the reduce the minor lobes by using of the binomial array and the Chebyshev arrays. Like when an array is scanned with a fixed units of a phase shift, the provided by phasors, there is also a bandwidth limitation as the position of the main beam will change with the frequency. So if you will take when array is scanned with the fixed units of phase. So already I told the steerable arrays. In this steerable array, the scanning will be there. That means it may be rotate with respect to the phase angle. So at that the bandwidth have some limitation, and the bandwidth have limitation as the position of the main beam will change with the frequency variations. And this is the beamwidth formula. So first you used to take, this is the bandwidth is equivalent to the f2 minus f1 by f0, where f2 is the sin theta 2 minus sin theta 1 into sin theta 0 by sin theta 1 into sin theta 2. For a large arrays, you say that the beamwidth is equivalent to the theta 3 by sin theta 0. So here beamwidth, which is equal to 0.866 lambda by L sin theta 0. So this is for the uniform array, lambda by L sin theta 0. So here just to observe that radiation patterns of different what we call the spacing between the elements, like lambda by 4, the spacing between the element is lambda by 4, lambda by 2, lambda 3, lambda by 4, like that, or lambda, you say that. If you will take a first and the lambda by 4 is there, just to observe that for the 0 degrees phase it will give like this. This is the radiation pattern. But for the 90 degrees phase shift, the radiation pattern is like this. If you will take a 180 degrees phase shift, the radiation pattern is like this, perpendicular, like. So here for the lambda by 2 in the second column, and the 3 lambda by 4 spacing between the elements, third column, and the lambda spacing between the elements, the fourth column. That means the radiation pattern broad in normal direction. I mean, you say that the broadside array, this is the first and last, you say that these two are the broadside arrays, and the second also, all are broadside arrays here, broadside array radiation patterns all. But except this is the lambda by 2 is given here. This is only okay, it is along the axis. So 2 element array patterns, all this. Now the directivity in an antenna array, a set of multiple identical antennas and which work together as a single antenna. The directivity of the entire array is the multiplicative sum of the individual antenna's directivity function with a mathematical expression known as the array factor. That means you used to take generally the array of the directivity of a beta comma phi, which is equivalent to the multiplication of array factor into the directivity d of beta comma phi. That is called the overall directivity relation. So therefore with a mathematical expression known as the array factor, so which typically depends on the location, the excitation, and the phase of each antenna element. So here it mathematical expression represents that it completely relates to the phase. Okay, so the directivity of the array of a beta comma phi is equal to array factor into of directivity of beta comma phi. This is the left side of overall directivity, where d of beta comma phi is the directivity of the single element. This is the right side one, this is for the single element, but left side is overall directivity. The single element term is sometimes referred to as the element pattern. That's why used to take the overall directivity, which is equivalent to the multiplication of the array factor into of the individual radiation pattern of the element. This is the actual formula. So the antenna array applications, already you know that, just we where we are going to use that antennas already given in a previous slides. Now an array widely used as a base station antenna for the mobile communication. So already know that the cellular mobile communications, we have the lot of stations. Master control station is there, the base station is there, MC unit, that is. So these base stations, we need to take this type of antennas, right? and for the mobile communications. And the Aggie-Wood antenna, which is already, it is a familiar antenna since 40-50 years, because TV antenna this is, the VHF and UHF antenna, and which again it should be applicable for the radio application. And the log periodic antenna, it is also used for the TV with a wider bandwidth. We used to get the more beam antenna means Aggie-Wood. If you want to wider bandwidth, then you are going to take the log periodic antenna, which is also in the array. And the broadcasting, beam forming, naval usage, optical phase radar, array phase radars, as the radio frequency identification (RFID), and the weather search usages, as well as the missile guidance, the fire radar aircraft, etc., are the areas in which array antennas are used. Okay, so this is about the total description of the antenna arrays. Now we are going to talk about the 2-point sources in different cases. So this is the first case, is the two isotopic point sources of same amplitude and phase, and the second one is the two point sources with equal amplitude and opposite phase, and the third one is the two isotopic point sources are equal amplitude and 90 degrees phase, and case 4 is the equal amplitude and any phase difference. The 4 cases are very important. For the first case, we used to take the electric field of the two elements with the equal amplitude and same phase. Okay, we'll continue in the next lecture. Thank you very much.